Reddit ask me anything. Real life 40-year-old virgins. What's your story? Not 40, but I know one guy who has a micro penis and is physically unable to have sex. Shame too because he's decently good looking and funny, makes out with a lot of girls, is 6'3" etc. Completely normal. Only know he's a virgin due to him admitting JT to me when he was drunk. He's early to mid 30s. Edit. He is a virgin in terms of vaginal intercourses. I assume he's done other shit. I lost my virginity at age 40. I had opportunities but just didn't realize them at the time. Girls would come flirt with me but I would just freeze and my mind would go blank. I am very shy and quiet. I sometimes think I am autistic but have never been diagnosed or tried to get diagnosed. I always thought something was wrong with me and I knew I wasn't normal. I also didn't drink a lot or party. I invited a co-worker over to watch a movie one night and she is also very quiet and shy. I let her take the lead and let it happen. That was 2 years ago and we are engaged now. I kept my virginity so that if a volcano ever threatened my small village, I could throw myself into it to save my family and friends. As I live in Canada, it was not really the wisest decision. A co-worker is 51, never had girlfriend nor had sex. Nature has been a jerk to him. He's an uglier version of Danny DeVito, with strabism, none of the acting abilities. I was raised in a religious household so I was taught to wait until marriage. I had many boyfriends but I didn't sleep with them because of my vow of abstinence. I wore my promise ring until I was married at age 30. I married my best friend and soulmate. He told me he had performance problems, but he had also never had a girlfriend and I naively thought that once we were together and naked, things would work out. Turns out I was wrong. He was completely impotent. I decided that I married him because I loved him and not for sex so it was fine. We started talking to doctors to see if it could be fixed but then he suffered a terrible brain injury. Now my husband is a paraplegic with mental health problems. Weird thing is, after the brain injury he started getting erections. Normally this would be something to celebrate but he's in so much pain due to the paralysis that I can't exactly get on top of him. So here I am, a woman in her late 30s, a married virgin, taking care of her paraplegic husband, and I don't know what the future holds. I actually work with one, he's like 45ish, maybe closing in on 50. He's a strange guy, works too much and way too hard, saves all his money, is generally stingy but kinda social. I know he wants it but he's too focused on work to actually make it happen. Some of us are just ugly in both looks and personality. No sob story or long-winded explanation needed. Years of intense social rejection and depression don't help, but they aren't the primary cause. Some people are just inherently unapproachable. A friend of mine is 39 and has never lost it. He's super religious, has had girlfriends, but never got married or anything so he never had his sex. Well, that's as far as I know. Maybe he hasn't, is ashamed of it, maybe he's gay and is in the closet, maybe he's asexual, I don't know. Normal beer drinking, playing video games, going to bars, and traveled the world sort of a guy. Decent looking but not great. He's maybe a little out of shape but I wouldn't call it ugly. Thing is he wants to be married before sex and also has super, weirdly high standards. Like now that he's his age he still won't settle for anything less than a Kate Upton that's ultra Christian. 35 this August. Still a virgin. Haven't even been kissed, or on a date. I gave up on relationships and have resigned myself to being alone. I know a 34-year-old who has never even kissed a girl. Crippling social anxiety. Also hung up on a girl from 15 years ago who has never been interested. I saw a pretty tipsy girl come onto him at a bar once and he almost jumped out of his skin. He was nude having that shit. I am 41 years old and had sex only once with a prostitute. I think women find me weird because of autism. I have a friend in this situation. She has never been kissed, even. She is a little bit heavy, but not obese, and she is okay looking. I think it is just confidence. I'm in my mid-40s, female. I have a congenital condition that isn't really that disabling in terms of what I can do, but has meant I look very different from other women. Really fat from the way it disrupted my metabolism. developed as a woman until around puberty, and then started developing about half and half male and female features. Also produced scarring and a general unwell appearance, greasy skin and hair falling out. Even with excellent grooming, you can imagine how sexually repulsive men have found me. So, here we are. I expect to live the rest of my life alone, of course. At this point, I'm so broken from bullying and isolation that a relationship isn't even imaginable. Perhaps it's a blessing that my condition is associated with a shorter lifespan. I'm 30, fat, otherwise unattractive, poor, and socially awkward. I work for an autoglass company and frequently go entire months without interacting with a woman within 10 years of my age that is not genetically related to me. I've fully accepted that I am going to die a virgin. It's simple. No one I am attracted to is mutually attracted to me. I work out, I'm involved in sports, and like to travel. I've met tons of interesting people and made lots of friends. Most people my age are now married and the ones that are single aren't into me. I started to realize you can enjoy a full life without being in a relationship, but I would love to share my travel trips with someone I am romantically involved in. Since I haven't seen a lot of upvoted answers for this, asexuality, I'm 17 years short of 40 but I want to get there without sex, and ideally die without sex. Still want love and romance though, makes things difficult. Social anxiety brother here. It sucks trying to date. I fear being alone but I also fear people. The fear of rejection sits with us whether we're trying to date or not. I am not cured by any means, but one day I just decided to let it all go. Told myself I would talk to people no matter how awkward it was. Figured I'd start at a bar where people are likely to forget, and that night I got my first kiss, well into my 20s. Still alone but it was nice to feel normal to an extent. OPHMU in 2 decades for answer.